Good afternoon. Hi, everyone, and welcome. My name is Jason. I'm a librarian at San Francisco Public Library. Wherever you're tuning in from, I'm so happy you're here with us. So go ahead and pop in the chat where you're tuning in from. We love knowing where our audiences are. We're going to start off with a little trailer of what we're doing, a little video. Awesome. So today's book project is called Exquisite Corpse Fold. It is the final project of our three-part series with our friends from Book Arts Roadshow. And our trusty friends will share the supply list in the chat. This is part of our Make Do program series, your place for craft and maker programs for school-age kids and their families. So check out our website for calendar listings, and that link will be in the chat also. It'll have downloadable activity sheets, book lists, and more. Before we begin, we'd like to start off with a land acknowledgement. We are on the unceded ancestral homeland of the Ramaytush Ohlone, who are the original inhabitants of the San Francisco Peninsula and continue to live, work, and play here today. As the indigenous stewards of this land, and in accordance with their traditions, the Ramaytush Ohlone have never ceded, lost, nor forgotten their responsibilities as the caretakers of this place, as well as for all peoples who reside in their traditional territory. We wish to pay our respects by acknowledging the ancestors, elders, and relatives of the Ramaytush community, and by affirming their sovereign rights as First Peoples. We'd like to give a huge thanks to the friends of SFPL for their generous support of this special series, because we can't do this without them, along with all our other programs. And without further ado, let me welcome Book Arts Roadshow, which was co-founded by Cheryl Ball and C.K. Itamura, and they provide book arts instruction and hands-on learning experiences for children, teens, and grown-ups. Take it away, Books Art Roadshow.
Hi, thanks so much, Jason, for the nice warm welcome. And thank you to San Francisco Public Library for having us back for this the third part of a three-part series of bookmaking. We just want to let everybody know that this bookmaking session is being recorded. So if you're watching it live on YouTube right now, that's great. But let your friends know that they can go to the YouTube channel for San Francisco Center for the Book and watch it later on. And so can you.
San Francisco Public Library.
Oh, I'm sorry. What did I say? Did I say? I don't even know what I said.
That's okay. San Francisco Public Library.
Oh, San Francisco Public Library. So anyways, thank you so much for having us again. We're going to be doing an Exquisite Corpse book. And so we're going to show you some examples of what an Exquisite Corpse book is. And then we're going to show you the tools that you need, the supplies that you'll need, and then we'll get started on making the book. So here's a little example of an Exquisite Corpse book. So it's a multiple section book where you can have illustrations, and you can turn each section of the page to change the illustration to something else. Like that. And you can also use it not just for illustrations, but you can also use it in several different ways. So let's see. So another way you can use it is as a learning tool for constructing words. So we have the word dot here. We change the last letter to a G, it becomes dog. If you change the last letter to an N, it becomes dawn, dog, dag, can. So you can use it for word learning, letter learning, and you can also use it as a flashcard tool for mathematical equations. So you can go ahead and change the numbers, change the mathematical symbols, and that's great to use as a flashcard tool as well. For older kids, instead of putting simple numbers or just spelling a word, you can actually use it to build sentences or even stories. So keep those things in mind, that of different ways that you can use these Exquisite Corpse books. So let's see. Oh, I forgot to mention a little bit about us. We're the Book Arts Roadshow. And before COVID, we used to go around to different locations, public libraries, schools, museums in person, and teach workshops on how to make books. But since COVID started, we've been doing all of our workshops online, and we really appreciate that San Francisco Public Library has invited us to do another series. Just so that you know, the previous workshops that we did are also on the San Francisco Public Library's YouTube page. So if you go to the YouTube page and you search for Book Arts Roadshow or Make and Do, you'll see all the previous workshops that we did there too. So without further ado, Cheryl, would you like to show everybody the tools that they'll need for this
Sure.
book?
Let me switch to my overhead camera, and then you can see what tools. So I just have a stapler, a pair of scissors, a Sharpie. It doesn't have to be a Sharpie. It could be any black marker, a pencil, a wooden spoon, or you can even just use a regular metal spoon, whatever you have at home. The spoon is used in place of bone folders, which these are them, but these are not necessary. And we ask for a little tiny, it could be any size ruler really. So a ruler, and then you'll need 5 sheets of paper and 1 piece of cardstock. So that's what you need. 5 sheets, 5 3/4 by 6, and then 6 by 6. But you can use any size. We're just using this size for this demonstration. All right, so CK is going to tell us how to do this, and I will be the hands on the camera.
Great, thanks for sharing all the tools with us. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take, actually, instead of 5 sheets of paper, we're going to do this with 4. It's just easier to fold. So we're going to take 4 sheets of paper, not your cardstock, but your actual 4 sheets of paper. And you're going to jog them together so that they're all lined up, stacked on top of each other nice and neatly. And because it's a 6 by 6 square, it doesn't matter which direction you fold it, but we're going to be folding it in half. So you're going to match up your corners. After you've got all your papers jogged up on top of each other, you're going to fold it in half and match up your corners as best you can. And then go ahead and fold it in half. And after you fold it in half, you're going to make a little dent on the crease side. And then you're going to go ahead and smooth it out with your finger to the top and bottom. And then take your spoon and press down hard on the crease to make the crease very sharp. And then you've got basically what's called a signature of pages that's ready to for the next step. You're also going to take your cover, which is the piece of cardstock, and you're going to fold it in half the same way. So you're going to match up the corners, and then once you've got the corners matched up, go ahead and press down on the fold side and put your finger up to the top and slide it down to the bottom, and then grab your spoon and press down with your spoon to make the crease really sharp. Great. So now you've got your cover, and then you've got your signature of 4 pages folded in half. which actually turned into 8 pages. Okay. And then what we're going to do is we're going to take one of the sheets of the pages, just one at a time. So take one of the sheets and your ruler and your pencil. And the first thing you're going to do is you're going to turn your piece of paper so that the fold is horizontal. Great. And then we're going to take the ruler and we're going to place the ruler parallel to the fold that's already on the piece of paper. And starting at one edge of the paper, we're going to draw, let's see, kind of slide your ruler up toward the top of the paper, just like all the way to the top edge of the paper. Let's see, like this, like take your ruler and then slide it all the way up to the top edge of the paper. And then we're going to go ahead and mark at 2 inches with your ruler and at 4 inches. And then you're going to mark at the bottom edge of the paper 2 inches and 4 inches, like that. So you've got one mark. I'm going to do it with a pen so you can see where the marks are. 1, 2, 3, 4. So we're just going to have 4 marks. So we've got a fold right here, and then we've got a mark up here, a mark up here, a mark down here, and a mark down here. So this was at 2 inches and 4 inches and 2 inches and 4 inches. And then what we're going to do is we're going to play connect the dots. So now we're going to get the pencil and we're going to connect the mark on the top with a mark on the bottom, and then also do it again from the top to the bottom. So then you have something that looks like that, where you have a line here and a line here, and your fold goes across the middle of the page. Great. So we're going to do the same thing to the other 3 sheets of paper. You're going to open up your page, your paper, and then make a mark at the top edge at 2 inches and 4 inches. And then at the bottom, 2 inches and 4 inches. Two inches and 4 inches. Again, it's 2 inches and 4 inches, 2 inches and 4 inches. And then we're going to play connect the dots and connect them from the top to the bottom with a pencil. So now we've got page number 2. I'm going to do it to the 3rd one. You probably already have it by now, but I'm going to go ahead and call out the instructions anyway. So you're going to place your ruler parallel to the fold, mark it at 2 inches and 4 inches on the top, and then on the bottom, we're going to mark it at 2 inches and 4 inches, and then connect the dots with your pencil. There. Oh, it wasn't an earthquake. It was just me shaking my computer. Don't worry. Okay. And so you have that, and then we'll do it on the 4th sheet of paper. As I mentioned before, you could use more pages, but just because it's easier to fold fewer pages, we're just going to use 4 instead of 5 today. Doing page number 4, same way. So now we have, let's see, it's hard to see on mine, but we basically have, I'm going to draw my lines with a Sharpie pen, so they're easier to see on the camera. 1, 2. So each of the pages basically should have lines like that now. Okay, great. So now, a lot of measuring in this one. Now we're going to take our ruler and turn our page this way so that the lines are going horizontal. Take our ruler again, and then go ahead and put the ruler on one of those lines, then mark the lines. Let's see, I'm putting the ruler on the, starting from the left edge. I'm marking it at 2 inches. Oh, I'm sorry, marking it at 1 inch, 2 inch, 4 inches, and 5 inches. And if you notice, I skipped 3 because the paper is already creased on where the 3-inch mark is, so we don't really need one there. But what we do have, and I went ahead and I'm going to put my marks in Sharpie. It's hard to see on the screen. Great. So we've got these little dots here now. Okay, this is at 1 inch, 2 inch, 4 inches, and 5 inches. And we're going to do that to the bottom line as well. Now, Cheryl and I are doing ours in marker, but you should be doing yours in pencil. We're just doing it in marker so that you can see the marks on the screen. We've got all these.
Yes,
markers.
I actually prefer to do mine in pencil usually.
Yeah. So now the same set of dots. We're not playing connect the dots this time, but we're going to put this one aside and we're going to do the same set of dots on all 3 other sheets. So again, you're going to get your next piece and you're going to measure it from the left. You're going to measure it at the 1 inch mark, the 2 inch mark, the 4 inch mark, the 5 inch mark on both lines. So 1, 2, 4, and 5. Skipping 3 because we don't need 3 inches. And then, now that you're getting the hang of it, we'll go to page number 3 and do the same thing. I'm going to mark those dots on those lines. And you can actually make the dots really light because in the end, probably going to just erase them. They're just markers for the next step. Okay. So basically, everything we're doing right now is in preparation for the drawing version of the Exquisite Corpse book. So now you've got 4 sheets of paper that have all these dots on them. And then what we're going to do is we're going to actually start drawing. So with your marker, I'm looking for my marker. So with your marker, what you're going to envision is that the top section above the fold up here, the top section above the fold is where the head goes. So if you envision something like this little happy sun with a stick body, the head is above on this top section here above the top line. The body is the middle section and the legs are going to be the bottom section. But the reason why we have those dots there is because the dots are where all the body parts connect to each other. So in this case, in this sample, the dots would show up here and here and here and here in the original drawing. See that? So that's where the head connects to the body and where the body connects to where the legs show up. So Cheryl's starting to draw hers. And you can use our samples if you want to, or you can, I'll show, while Cheryl's starting to draw hers. And if you're trying to get some, I'm just going to show you some other little ideas. There's a music note person that has music notes all over, just to give you a few ideas. And we're not going to draw all of them right now. We're going to draw a few of them, just so you can get an idea. And then after this video is over, then you can go ahead and draw the rest of them yourself. So here's another one that's actually a plant that has a face on the top, a body in the middle, and a pot for the bottom. Here's some sort of strange insect with webbed feet and wings. So maybe it's not an insect. I'm not sure where that character is from, but the head is up here. The neck connects to the body at those 2 dots, and the legs connect to the rest of the character on the bottom. And again, just for some more ideas, there's a person's head on that body, but then we turn the page and now there's like something that looks like an insect, and stick feet, another little sun. Not sure what this other character is going to be. Looks like maybe it's some kind of crazy chicken, but it has like a fish mermaid tail on it. So this was all just to help give you some ideas of things that you might want to draw. There's some other, not sure what this last one's going to be. Feet. So there's some running feet, but there's some kind of like little bees wings on that one. So that's some ideas. Cheryl's doing a great job there drawing. And then if you don't feel like drawing right now, then you can just watch the rest of this video. You can think about what to draw and you can draw later on. Great. So let's see where we are now. So Cheryl's got her drawings there, and we have some pre-drawn drawings handy too. So Cheryl's going to go ahead and use the pre-drawn drawings on there. So at this point, if you want to catch up and draw your drawings before watching the rest of this video, just pause the video and then start playing it again after you're done with all your drawings. Otherwise, we're going to go ahead and move forward with the next steps. So the next steps would be is that you would take all your drawings and stack them up on top of each other. And then you're going to fold them in half and use your spoon to make sure that the crease is really sharp. Great. And then what we're going to do is we're going to insert the pages into the cover. Remember the cover? There was a piece of cover stock that we folded in half in the beginning. So we're going to insert the
a little bit thicker than you can hear the difference in the paper.
So basically, yes, cover stock is really thicker paper is what cover stock is. And then we're going to insert the pages in there. So, and they should fit in nicely because the pages and the cover are all the same size. And then we're going to open the to the center section. So Cheryl's found the center page there. And what we're going to do, in fact, Cheryl, if you want to just draw a little dot or a line where the sections are. Let's see.
These sections?
Yeah, just on the center fold.
Oh, yeah. Here.
Yeah. So there's a little, where those lines are, she's drawing a little dot or a line right in the center where those, right on that center line, we're on the center fold. We're just drawing a line, a little dot right on there. So that is basically the dot that's making the fold divided into 3 equal parts. So above the top dot, we're going to just draw a little line where a staple is going to end up going. The staple is going to go roughly in the middle of that top section. Perfect. And then in the middle section, or the body section, we're going to draw a little line there. That's approximately where another staple is going to go. And in the bottom section, or the leg section, that's where another staple is going to go. So we're just drawing them so you can see approximately where the staples are going to go on the pages. So it's 1 staple per section. So you're going to have 1 staple in the top section, 1 staple in the middle section, and 1 staple in the bottom section ultimately. So now you can grab your stapler. Right. And then slip your stapler in and try to keep all your pages all lined up nicely together. And you're going to go to that top section and put 1 staple right there in where you drew the little staple line. And it's going to go right on that crease.
I missed mine a little bit, but
So now what used to be a line, it's hard to see, but there's actually a staple in the middle of that now. So then we're going to go to the middle section where you drew another line for where the staple is going to go. And we're going to go ahead and put a staple in that section as well. So now you should have a staple right there and another staple right there in the middle. And then we're going to go down to the bottom, or the leg section, and then go ahead and put 1 last staple in the bottom. So now we've got another staple down at the bottom. So good job. Now what we're going to do is we're going to close the book again and use your spoon to sharpen the crease, because now that we've added staples to the crease, the staple, it's bunching up a little bit. It's swelling a little bit. So we're going to flatten that out with a spoon. And then you're going to just take the cover only and open the cover. And then you're actually going to open the, you're going to open the first 1, 2, 3, 4 pages. Yeah. So you have your cover that you just opened, and then you're taking the first 4 pages and you're going to open to where your lines are. So basically you've got half the book open right now. You've got the cover and the 4 pages.
so you should be in the middle.
So you should be back in the middle again. And what you're going to do is you're going to cut on the lines, but you're not going to cut the cover. You're only going to cut the 4 sheets of paper on that line, but not the cover. And you're going to cut it just until the center fold. So Cheryl has her scissors there, but she is not cutting through the cover.
See how I'm holding it? So the cover is away from the pages.
The cover is away. The cover is not inside the scissors. And she's cutting just the pages up until that center crease. And then she's stopping when she gets to the center crease.
See, the point of my scissors are stopping.
So then you'll have the separation of your pages like that. Great. And then she's going to cut on the other line.
I'm going to cut his head off. No. Okay, cutting. I'm trying to cut as straight as I can, just moving the scissors forward in a straight line. There we go.
Right. Perfect. Great job. Okay, now we're going to turn the book upside down and we're going to go to the other side. and we're going to cut the other 4 pages, and we're going to make sure not to cut the back
Make sure
cover.
the cover is away, and I've got my pages. I'm just cutting on the line. Make sure your fingers are out of the way too, so you don't cut your fingers.
So you're going to cut all the way until that center fold and you didn't cut the cover. So now you have your covers are intact. Your cover is still intact, but your pages are all now cut into 3 sections. Okay. Everybody got that? Great. So now, once again, you're going to fold it, close it up, use your spoon, handy spoon, and then go ahead and smash that crease down really well. And now on the cover, if you want to write a title like Exquisite Corpse Book or something on the cover, you could do that. Or any other title that you can think of. Great. And Cheryl, do you want to show off the pages of your book?
Sure. So here's a rocket ship, but oh my goodness, the rocket ship can turn into something else. What is that? Or it can turn into a squid. And then here's my caterpillar, which can turn into a caterpillar and a cookie. And here's my carrot, which can turn into kind of a robot carrot with bunny feet. So the possibilities are endless because there's my rabbit, there's a cacti. The cacti can turn into part gingerbread body. Gingerbread cacti. There you go.
Super. So now that you know how to assemble or how to make an Exquisite Corpse book, remember the ideas that we showed at the beginning where you can actually use it to spell words. You can use it as a book for math problems. Oops, wrong one. Math problems. You can use it to put a word on each page to make sentences that change as you flip the pages. And you can use it for stories as well. But in addition to that, Cheryl's got another thing to tell you about the Exquisite Corpse books.
Okay, and I'm going to keep this paper here because I'll explain what this is for. So the Exquisite Corpse book actually started back in 1925. There were surrealist artists who got together and they would just make up games. And one of the games that they used to do is like they would each take a turn and tell a story. Like Cheryl was saying, you could take turn, you could put different sentences on each section, different words. So they would do that to create stories. Well, then somebody decided, hey, what if and they would have all these marks. I'm going to draw a head. And there's a Martian. And then I'm going to cover that up, but I'm going to send it over to my friend CK. CK then, not knowing what the head looks like, would draw a body. And then she would say, hey, I'm going to turn it over to one of my pals at the San Francisco Public Library. Then somebody else would draw a bottom. And they would pass this along to all these people to fill all these different parts. And then you truly, truly had like an exquisite corpse book because they were all corpses, there were bodies, and they were totally fantastical. So that's something you can do with your friends as well.
And then one other modification that you can make to the books too. Today we used a stapler, just a little desktop stapler. If you wanted to make a larger book, a larger version of this, there's a couple ways to do it. One of them is to use something like this. This is a saddle stapler. So if you've got access to one of these are great. This allows you to make the pages bigger than the size that we did today. And also there's a piece of equipment called a long arm stapler that's available at office supply stores, and most schools have them available too. That allows you to make larger books. Oh, and Cheryl's showing how you can use a standard desktop stapler.
Yeah, some of these open up like this flat. So then what you could do is you can take let me see, you can take a phone book and here's the center. You can just take the stapler and push it in. And then what you'll do is you'll take the back of the paper and push the staples down. So there's ways to do it. I'm sure you've seen teachers using this to staple things on the board. So, and then Cheryl's going to show you another way to do it.
So another way to do it is not to use any stapler or staples at all. And it's the other way is to sew the pages in. So you would basically do all the same steps that we did today, except for this one here. The pages are actually sewn into each of the 3 sections of the book with a simple stitch to hold the pages inside the cover. So that's another way you can do it as well.
Cheryl, quick
yes.
question. So I believe the video to sew that's a 3-hole pamphlet stitch is on the San Francisco Public Library's YouTube channel.
Oh,
correct?
Yes, because we taught that one before.
Yes.
So if you're trying to figure out how to sew the book, go ahead and look through the other make and do workshops that the Book Arts Roadshow, that's us, did, and you'll learn how to do this sewing stitch that you can combine with the Exquisite Corpse book. Yeah, I think that's it. Congratulations, you just made an Exquisite Corpse book. Have fun with that. Show your friends how to make them, and also follow the San Francisco Public Library on social media. And I believe the hashtag that you can post pictures to is hashtag make and do SFPL. So if you make your books, take a photo of them, post them, then the folks at San Francisco Public Library and us, we can see them. Also follow us, the Book Arts Roadshow, on our Instagram, which is at Book Arts Roadshow. And one more time, this session has been recorded, and so you can find this session and all the other sessions that we did, all of our other bookmaking workshops that we did with the San Francisco Public Library on the San Francisco Public Library YouTube channel. And we do want to say thanks again to the friends of the San Francisco Public Library for making this and the other workshops possible. Without them, we wouldn't be here. I don't know. Where would
we appreciate being invited.
And somewhere else, but not
I
here.
just have to give credit to the drawings. CK did them all.
Oh. Thank you. So thank you everybody for joining us today. It was wonderful to see you. Have a safe holiday season, and we're looking forward to seeing you in person sometime in the future. Bye now.
Bye.
We just keep waving because we don't know when we're getting cut off.